Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 140 of the Holding Court podcast. Today, we're talking about our latest road trip to Milwaukee, how Justin tricked the entire clubhouse, and a unique way we're keeping track of all of Bo's stadium visits. All coming up right now on Holding Court.
Bum 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 bum.
We have a tooth.
One
little tooth for Bobo. He just hit 10 months. Wow, had to think about that for a second. And he was a late bloomer on the teeth, but we had one breakthrough over this past weekend when we were in Milwaukee, which was a long time coming. It felt good. I don't know if it felt good for him. I don't think it felt good for him, but
it was kind of a mixed bag of emotions for me anyway. I mean, obviously you're excited, like his first tooth finally busted through and you're like, yeah, but he's been such a like happy, like good baby.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's like the first time, maybe second time we've ever heard him like crying and screaming and like in pain and like real tears like coming down his face because his teeth hurt so bad and there was nothing we can do.
I know. It's just brutal. And like you said, he's been so happy and just has this happy demeanor about him. So when he's down like that, you know it's painful and it's bad. I mean, he cries. He cries when he's hungry or needs something, but it's like,
a different
it's
cry.
so different.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it. It was before we left. So it really started. I mean, teething is such a long process. I feel like he started teething months ago, but you don't really know you're in the trenches until you're in the trenches. And we kind of thought, okay, here it is. You were in Pittsburgh and I was going to make the drive up to Milwaukee on Thursday.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, probably during the game or a little after the game, I was going to drive up. And he woke up that morning and that was when we knew it was starting. So debated going and maybe going the next day, and then kind of thought, okay, if we don't go till Friday, we're not going to get there till you already go to the field. We're going to miss you that day. We would really just be going up to see you Saturday. So is it worth it? And kind of weighed our options and decided to drive up. We thought he turned a corner and decided to drive up. And then it was like those next 2 days, like that next night was just so brutal and so much drool. And he gets a little warm, doesn't have a fever, but just warm. And I won't lie, the cuddles were so good because everyone always says when they're in the newborn stage and they're cuddling like that, they say enjoy it. It goes by so fast. They don't want to sit still and cuddle you. And he's already kind of like that, already trying to be on the move. And so I got a really good hour session with him laying right on me and just out. And it's brutal. It's the worst feeling because you can't do anything to make it better. You can try to, I feel like you're a clown and you're just trying to pull out all these tricks and do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? But he just had to get through it. And it was a rough night. And even through it, he's still smiling every now and then. And you have these flashes of his personality, which makes it that much sadder. But the next day, I feel like after it broke through and we could feel it, the sharp edge breaking through, right, he was laughing and playing and mostly back to his old self. So just a wild ride. And to think we still have, 6 in the first session of getting teeth. But now we at least know what to expect. So we won't be as caught off guard. We know kind of how long it's going to take to get through. And it's wild because like we have friends with kids that got all of those 6 teeth at 6 months, 7 months. So we're kind of waiting, but he has the cutest gummy smile. So I'm kind of sad that a little tooth is poking through now, but.
Well, it's actually crazy because at 6 months we were like, oh my God, like he has little bumps, like they're coming. And he was kind of a little fussy and we were like, oh, his teeth are coming soon. Yeah. And here we are 4 months later and he finally broke through on the first one. And like you said, it's hard because like you can't we're getting that experience of like, you can't take that pain away from them. Right. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh my God, I would do anything. But like
I know.
we're trying a bunch of like little remedies to make him comfortable, like the little gel for the gum and the drops for the gums and whatnot. But I feel like it lasts for like such a brief moment. And then he's just like, nope, it's not working.
I know. We're doing all the homeopathic methods. Everyone, I don't know. There's groups they're busting out the Tylenol, the Motrin, all that. We were just trying to do it with the camellia drops and all the natural things and getting him through it. And he actually loves those little tablets.
They work for a little bit. Yeah. He like spits out his pacifier. He's like, give them to me. Let's go.
I know. It's so cute. But yeah, we have a little boy with a tooth now. It's wild.
A little one-tooth wonder.
And I know it's just going by fast. And then he hit 10 months and the next day it was, wow, okay, slow down. Now we're in double digits, creeping close to the 1 year. So
when we say two, like, it's not like you can barely see it right now.
Yeah, but
it's got a long way to go.
Isn't the hard part the breaking through the skin?
Well, that's the painful part for them. But
I've seen some pictures in my mom group on Facebook of babies where their tooth is up and it's almost fully like the full shape of the tooth and it still hasn't broke through the gum. So
that's
I'm grateful that we broke through right away. Good job, Bo. You crushed it.
Yeah.
And we just kept telling him we were proud of him and he's has no idea what we're saying. He's like, yeah, sure, great. What'd I do?
He knows.
I did nothing.
He knows.
As I mentioned, we were in Milwaukee when it happened. That was a nice little road trip up there. It was nice for us. It's like an hour, 20-ish minute drive. And I feel like not drive-wise, because San Diego's a world of difference, but it reminded me of the trip to San Diego being on LA. And you hear rumblings of Milwaukee kind of being, they always called what, Petco Park, Dodger Stadium South.
Right.
And they were calling American Family Field. Is that right?
It is American Family Field now.
It's Miller Park, right?
Yeah.
It's Sears Tower kind of thing. But Miller Park, everyone was calling it Wrigleyville or Wrigley North and saying that everyone travels really well up there. I have to say, they were right.
They were right. Yeah.
It's one of those, you go to the restroom, you go grab food, and you hear the crowd go crazy. And you think, crap, what would they just do? And then you look at a TV and the Cubs scored and the Cubs did something. So it was very interesting. Did you guys feel that on your side, that it felt similar to a home game, or how was the crowd?
Well, it's weird because, we played quite a few playoff games in Milwaukee in the past with the Dodgers. And I
remember was it Game 7?
We had Game 6, yeah.
Yeah,
Big
Game 7,
big Game 7.
And LCS.
It was loud and it was packed full of Brewers fans and, playing indoors with that many people in a playoff atmosphere is so loud. Mm-hmm. So, it's not like there aren't a ton of faithful Brewers fans, right?
Yeah.
But then, we come up with the Cubs and you're not really sure what it's going to be like. And it felt like it was at least 50-50, maybe close to 50-50.
There was a lot of Cubs fans. Yeah.
It was really cool.
I always love going there. I love all the Midwest stadiums, but I like going there. They have a good fan base. I feel like the staff there, they're incredible. They're so kind, so helpful. I always love going and seeing everyone over the years. But yeah, I didn't know because I should know this, but what is like the Cubs' biggest rival? Would you say it's Cardinals or would you say it was Brewers?
Well, the Cubs and Cardinals probably go back longest. I don't know. I mean, the Cubs.
Help us out.
Cubs Cardinals. I think Cubs Cardinals is probably the biggest rivalry.
Because I know when I would get super into, obviously growing up a Sox fan, and I would get super into the Crosstown Classic and everyone's Cubs, White Sox. That's more for Chicago bragging rights. And people would, some Cubs fans would get annoyed and be like, why do you care? This is not even a rivalry. They're not even in the same league, division, all of that. But yeah, I would think Cardinals is the big rivalry, but I have to say Brewers.
I think it's hard because I think it's one of the oldest divisions. Like the teams have been around for so long. So there's probably been like waves and ins and outs of different like rivalries from within the division.
It's also what two teams are playing really well at the same time as well, because you want it to be competitive.
100%.
Like, and you're thinking like, you know, when you were in Boston and Boston was struggling, the games still felt like that rivalry was there, but it was not the same. If you can imagine if both teams were fighting for that division, you know, it was late in the season, those sort of things. Like there's obviously more to it there. So that was the first. Well, you went to Pirates. So Pirates were the first division games. I didn't go to those, but
the Pirates were the first series we played that wasn't against a West team, which is crazy.
Or a 500 team.
Right? So like, yeah. Everyone we'd played, Rangers, Dodgers, Padres.
Even Sacramento.
Diamondbacks, A's. Everyone we'd played was from a West division, and they all had over a 500 record. Yeah. So the Pirates were the first in-division team we played, and first team out of the West, and the first team that we had played that wasn't over 500, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff, but we've been playing good baseball, so we've gotten off to a great start.
It's been fun. It's been intense, and it's only the first week of May, so I can't even imagine. But I kind of hinted in the intro about how we're keeping track of stadiums for Bo, and Milwaukee was his 11th stadium. And I don't think I mentioned it before. I know this kid is well, it's so different now where you guys play. I mean, essentially, if you were with the same team for 2 years,
you get every stadium.
You could get every stadium in 2 years.
Yep.
Because you're going every other. So it's kind of wild. And it's one of those back in my day kind of things, because I see the wives now posting and tracking, and some of the like super young wives are already in the 20s of stadium chasing. And
it took me 11 years to get 30 because I was on the IL a couple times to play the White Sox. So I missed him. And finally,
you just didn't want to see if I was going to go for the other team.
I think it was like 2019 was the first time I went.
You didn't get it that much sooner than I hit it.
Right.
Because I think I got mine in 22.
Yeah.
Mine got tricky. So I was trying to track down. My final two were the Twins and the Royals, I want to say. It was 29 and 30. And you guys were scheduled to play them during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And then that got scrapped. And it used to be teams in the AL, it was like every 6 years. So it was crazy when you guys would go to Fenway, or you guys would go to Yankee Stadium. It was this big deal, and fans traveled so well because that was the one chance they had maybe to go there every 6 years. So I was sitting there planning all of this in early years, and I'm working, I'm in school still and all this. And now it's like, dang, just dedicate 2 years and you can chase all 30. It's kind of wild, but I see it and I'm like, you have no idea what we had to go through to plan and make sure. And like you said, like stay healthy for those series and not miss those. Cause that's the big thing, is like you playing a game in these stadiums. Obviously it was like a big part of it, not just going to the stadium and catching a game. So, Bo, I got him, I don't know if anyone's seen it online, but it's the baseball passport. I think they have them I've seen them in the team store at Wrigley, but they're not the same. This one is like a leather bound book.
It's legit.
It's like a binder.
Yeah.
And there's pages for every single stadium, and it's really cool. So you get a stamp. So you basically go to guest services and they have a stamp with the date on it. And I actually stamped it a day after, like the next day. Bo went to the game before, and I brought it the next day, and she was able to crank the stamp back. And then when we finished, she's like, oh, I have to make sure I put it to today so I don't stamp someone's wrong. So you go to guest services and you get a stamp in the passport on the sheet. And then the other side has a spot for the box score. You can put like notable moments in the game. So if someone has a home run, or if there was a no hitter, there's something cool that happened, and little notes. And there's a spot for a picture. And then they have the stadium maps. You can mark where you sat. And then they have like numbered stickers 1 through 30. So you put in order, like on each page, which one you hit. And so I'm keeping track of that for him, taking a picture in every stadium for him. And this kid's already at 11 and he's 10 months old. So it's wild. But if you haven't done it yet and you've already done a bunch of stadiums, when you order it online, you can actually mark on there what stadiums you've already been to and the date. So thankfully, iPhone keeps track of photos and dates. So I went back and sent him the first stadiums that we went to last year, because he did, I think, 8 last year, and the dates. And you pay, I don't know, it's like $1.50 or $2 for the backdated stamps, and they'll do it so you can get it up to date. So it's kind of cool. I kind of get emotional thinking about giving it to him one day and sharing that with him. It's kind of cool. So I suggest that if you're a stadium chaser like myself and you're going around and doing the rounds, it's cool to keep track of. I know a lot of parents and their kids do it in the summer. You know, you see like, we're trying to get to all 30 stadiums or that. So it's just a cool little thing. It's not super, super expensive. I think it was, I don't know, maybe like $70 or something, which
for the passport book.
Yeah. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's something that's cool in it. And I know that it'll be really special to him when we give it to him. He has no idea what it is now. He just sees the stamp.
I'm trying to think back.
He was trying to like gnaw on the page. I was like, please don't do that. I'm gonna have to laminate those, sir. But yeah, it's just a cool little gift that I'll have for him.
I'm trying to think back. I think I've been, not counting like overseas stadiums, because then you would count like Monterey, Australia, Japan would be 3 more stadiums. But I think I have 33 stadiums that I've played in, because Old Rangers, Old
Atlanta?
Marlins, and Old Braves are the 3.
Well, are you counting Sacramento, or is that like a temporary? Like,
I mean, I don't want to count Sacramento.
I know, and then
I guess
same
that'd
with
be 4.
Well, you guys don't go to Tampa this year.
We don't go to
so
Tampa
you'll
this
miss
year. I mean, I've already played in that stadium for spring training, so
That's true.
I'm not going to count it.
No.
But I missed Target Field opened in 2010. I got called up in 2009 at the end, and we didn't go to the Metrodome, but I played in the Metrodome in college, so I'm not sure if that counts. And then obviously Shea Stadium and Old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Last year was 2008. So I missed those 2 by 1 year.
I think my only double is Atlanta Turner Field.
Yeah.
The new stadium's so cool though, when the sun sets, and I don't know, that whole area is cool too.
Battery Park.
Yeah, it's really cool.
No, they did a good job out there.
I just love them all. I don't know.
I gotta stick around to try to get to Vegas, you know?
Yeah. Let's do it, baby. Right until the wheels fall off. You had a little fun in Milwaukee. I know you don't want to spoil it too much, but I'll give the backstory on this. So our nanny came, she loves her TikTok. It was a devastating time when it was banned for a couple hours. But she loves to scroll, and it's so funny now because her algorithm is basically all baby stuff and baseball. So she finds all these. I'm trying to get into TikTok. I feel like I still get stuck on Reels on Instagram, but I think TikTok is probably better, more entertaining. I don't know. Everyone says
it's
Reels.
Definitely more educational, I feel like.
And Reels, I feel like it takes a while for them to get to you. So I'm late on the trend. So I need to hip it up and get to TikTok. But anyways, she saw this magic trick on there. And I think this was actually on Easter. She did it on me, and she presented it. And it was this little, if you've seen it on there, this.
Don't tell people to Google it or TikTok it.
I know. How much do you want to give away? Let's just say you got everyone good and you need to post the reels of it. But
there's one coming.
So she sat me down and did this trick, and it took me, the first one I was too focused on. It's basically like the hat game.
It's 3-card money, if you've ever seen that, where they shuffle the cards around, or they shuffle the hats around. Yeah.
So basically like the MLB hat shuffle that they do on there, and you get like a ball cap in the team store, whatever. And it's the baseball, and it's like follow it, follow it, follow it. So I noticed that there was plastic on one, and then I got stuck on following that one, and she got me. And then by the next time I cracked it, but she did it to me, and then she did it to my mom, and my mom said an expletive. Like she could not figure it out. She thought it was wizardry. And then she did.
It was the same reaction almost as when she got scared by the Easter Bunny.
Yes. It was not a good day for Tyne. We got her good that day. And then she did it to you. And I told her before, I said, Justin is going to crack this because like when we go to the Magic Castle, when we watch anything, you're just on it. And I don't know. I told her if it was you noticing stuff. I said, and this kind of sets it up to be a little wacky when you do it to the team. But I said, baseball players, they're noticing things with pitchers. Like they're always observant. Like they're trying to pick up on little cues. So I said, you're not going to get Justin. Like just be ready that like your Magic career is going to end with Justin. So she gets all excited and she presents it to you. And you just knew right away that something was amiss. And you're like, I love this. I got to bring this into the clubhouse. And so she gave you the kit. Like she had it's 3 M&M mini tubes. And I don't like, do I want to give it away?
No, but the funny thing about this, don't give it away because it's going to get posted up here soon. But the funny thing is I had the kit
for
like
so
set
long.
out for, 10 days. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it at the field. I'm going to do it at the field. And like every day she's like, hey, did you do it? And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot it. And she's like, did you do it? And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot it. So when we went on the road to Pittsburgh, I actually like walked out of the house and forgot the kit. And I was in my car and I text you and I was like, oh my God.
No, she texts both of us.
Yeah.
She was like, M&Ms.
Yeah. I was like, I forgot them. And then you ran them back out to me so I can take them. And then we were in Pittsburgh for 3 days and she's like, did you get the guys? And I was like, no, not yet. I'm going to wait till we get to Milwaukee. So we got into Milwaukee and we had the perfect setup because we had this back equipment room that is attached to the locker room. So you don't have to like go far to get there. And they have these big cases where they have all their extra equipment. They have these doors
set
that
up
open.
Like Houdini style.
Yeah,
it was very professional. You needed almost the red.
I had my whole
You need the red curtain on the front though, and the come one, come all to the Magic show.
Yeah, it was great, and obviously shout out to Karina for setting all this up and putting me on this, but also shout out to Danny, our clubhouse guy.
Danny with the bunny suit first, and then now setting up your Magic show.
He was my magician's assistant, right? He was going and getting everyone, and it's funny when you watch it. There's actually one guy accuses Danny of being the cheat in the trick.
I was watching Danny a lot, and he was so proud of you, and he was so excited when guys were doing it, and like his face the entire time. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna get him good right here." And I don't know. It was really funny to watch. You sent us all the videos, and we were getting ready to leave for the game on Sunday. And you sent them all and it was like, da-ding, da-ding, da-ding. And they were all coming through and they were each 2 minutes or so. And by the length of them, I could tell if guys were taking a while to get it. And they were all really long. And you said you didn't hear from us for 20 minutes. And you're like, oh, cool. I guess they didn't like it. But we were on the edge of our seat.
Maybe I did it wrong.
I honestly had a stomach ache. I was so nervous because I don't know. I just thought the baseball thing. I thought the observation and picking up on things. But it was kind of how did you present it? Because I think when she did it to me, she said, I have a magic trick. So that immediately triggered me to look for something. But I think if you present it as, oh, I have a game. Did you say game? Did you say a trick? How did you say it?
A couple guys, I was like, 3-card money. Like that's how we're going to do this. I'm going to show you at the end of it. You just got to tell me which one's which.
Right.
So I didn't really present it as magic.
Yeah. See, maybe that's where the,
except for say I did hide behind the little bin. And then when he walked in, I popped up and he was like, whoa.
He was ready.
Saya's is probably one of the better ones.
Okay. And I think one guy, a few people had seen it, right? So they just took themselves out of it.
One guy walked straight in and goes, I know what you're doing. Walked right over to me. And I was like, okay.
I respect that he didn't act like, because I probably would have done it and then acted like I figured it out. So I actually respect the honesty.
And then one guy kind of figured it out. Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to post it.
Okay. I hope everyone has.
Be on the lookout for the reels.
I hope everyone has Instagram.
It's going to be a good one.
And can follow it. And you don't want to reveal anything. No, I think that stuff's fun. And I think it's cool to just see everyone and see everyone's personality, and your face at the end of every clip, you were just laughing so hard when you would shut off the camera. It was cracking me up.
Well, it was kind of good timing because in Pittsburgh, we had a whole display, this whole video made, because we have a travel secretary named VJ. Everyone calls him VJ. He's honestly the best. And he's actually featured in one of the videos, by the way, one of the reels. So, yeah. But they did like the Cubs did a whole skit where they brought every single guy in and they asked him, what's VJ's last name? And he's got a very long last name, and everyone just knows him by VJ. Everyone calls him VJ. And literally one person pronounced it right and spelled it right. And it was Jameson Tyan. And no one else got it right. So we just got off this whole thing where like they were calling guys in one at a time throughout the beginning of the season and doing this whole, can you spell his name? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
And so like in Milwaukee, it was kind of like coming off of that, like
okay,
bringing guys in one at a time. Can you figure this out? Like, yeah.
What's going to be the next one? We got to think of something for New York, or I don't know.
Yeah. I know they're trying to think of something else like in the clubhouse to do like Cubs production wise.
That's cool. People love seeing that stuff, I think, because I don't know. There's some chances for personality during the game, but I think it's fun for people to see you guys interact, not off the field, but like in your downtime at the field.
And just in case you were wondering, VJ's last name is Tekchandani, and it's spelled Tekchandani. So it wasn't like an easy one.
Gotta remember that now. I gotta write it on my hand. I'm gonna hit him with
if he ever hits you with like, you don't even know my last name, you're gonna be like, yeah, Tekchandani. Tech.
He's the best, and he's so good. Every time he texts me, he's like, "Good morning, Miss Turner." I'm like, "It's Kourt," and every time, Miss Turner.
Yeah, same to me.
But I was talking to Kelsey, Jock's wife, when I saw her here when they were here at the Rangers, and she's like, "Does he always call you Mrs. or Miss?" And he's like, "Miss Peterson, Miss Peterson." I'm like, "Yep." He's a professional man.
It's so funny because when I signed with the Cubs, I got texts from former Cubs, Jock being one of them, Belly being one of them, a few other guys, and the first thing everyone said was, "Oh my God, VJ's the best. You're gonna love him."
Yeah,
like every single person.
No,
he's lived up to the bill.
I've already put him through a lot in a few short weeks, and he's crushed it. You had a little. This was before you guys left. You did a card ripping thing, which is a big thing. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
So
I know I've seen them. I've seen a few that seem a little staged on Instagram of girls pulling their, I think it might have been an ad, girls pulling their guy's card in the stands. I'm like, okay. X-ray vision in that pack or a plant, but you guys did a real one, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So we have a few guys that are very into it. I mean, I enjoy cards. I think like one cool thing that, my parents have done for me is every year, I was born in 1984, every year at Christmas. Yeah. It's no secret. It's on the internet, or just watch a Cubs broadcast. I'll tell you how old I am.
Every single play. A walking miracle.
Every Christmas since the year I was born, my parents have got me a full box of Topps cards. So I have an entire collection of 40 years of box cards, and I haven't opened any of them except for the 1 year that I debuted, to see if I can find my card in it. And it was. So like the card thing is like really cool. I haven't opened any of them, and I have them all. And I know my parents have been collecting them for me, but like there's some people that are super into these like pack ripping and stuff. And so, Matthew Boyd came and he was like, "Hey, I got this guy. He wants to sell me these packs. They're like these really cool packs, and I can't even think the name of them off the top of my head." He's like, "I think we should put together, collect some money and buy these, and we can open them up." And Ryan Brazier was one that was super into it, and our pitching coach Tommy had to be super into it. So we had some guys, Ethan Roberts, super into it. He can like tell you how much cards are worth and stuff. So anyways, so we all chipped in some money. We bought these packs and we set up some cameras, and we just started ripping packs in the middle of the clubhouse, and We even brought Shota over, had Shota rip a couple packs. He got his own card, which was really cool.
Was not a plant though.
It's not a. We didn't plant the card in there, but we had him come over, and he was actually hilarious when he started ripping cards and like showing. But it was just a lot of fun. I think Shota was the only cub we pulled, but we got a lot of like old Hall of Fame guys. We pulled some Mark McGuire's, we pulled some Frank Thomas's, Don Mattingly, pulled a Sandy Koufax card. So it was cool, and there was a bunch of guys huddled around, and it was a good kind of like non-planned but like team activity where there were guys all around while we're ripping cards and going through and seeing who was next. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is cool. I think those are the cool fan mail letters that you get. You've got a few from younger kids that said, oh, our teacher is having us do a project where we're sending out cards to guys and getting them signed and those sort of things. I think it was kind of a lost thing for a while, but it's cool to see people are getting back into it.
Cards are coming back.
Yeah.
They're not like they were in the late 2000s, but they're definitely coming back.
No, it's cool to see for sure. I hope you guys do it again. Are you going to share? Do you do some videos of that, right?
We have some videos of it. So I'll post some videos of the guys pulling some cards and some of the cool ones we got. So
yeah, nice. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. A friendly reminder to subscribe so you don't miss one. And we're also on YouTube, so you can watch episodes there. But keep leaving those comments and those ratings and reviews. We love to see them. But thanks for listening, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bum, 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 bum.